Hello, today I'm joined by Jalal Bagherli, Chairman-elect of Nanoco Technologies, a quantum materials business. Jalal, many thanks for coming in today.
Hi there.
So you're about to take over the chairmanship of Nanoco. Can you start by introducing yourself? You have a long history in high technology industries, semiconductors and so on, and you've also taken on businesses when they were in trouble state and grown them towards exit. Can you tell us a little bit more about
Sure. So, yeah, I've been in semiconductor industry over 30 some years now, ranging from startups as a CEO of a company in Cambridge called Alpha Mosaic back in 2000, and successful exit there, as well as my last full-time job as a CEO was with Dialog Semiconductor, which I joined in 2005, and the company was going through 5 years of loss making, and the valuation of the company was below 50 million euros. And the plan was to turn it around and grow the business, which we did. And eventually it was a publicly listed company on Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and we exited that in 2021 for 4.8 billion euros. So quite a good return to shareholders who started with 40 and ended up with 4.8 billion. So that was not an easy task, but there are ways of focusing on your key strategy and delivering to that. I'm currently also chairing a company in Scotland called Probe Test Solutions, which is also in the semiconductor area. That's a private company, high growth and small. So again, another area. In addition to that, I'm currently co-chairing the government semiconductor advisory panel that advises on policy for the UK national strategy.
So what attracted you to Nanoco? What made you interested in this business and the job at hand there?
So when I looked at it, is a great team of very dedicated people, expert material scientists. I think is been unpolished gem, if you like, and I saw they have fantastic IP assets, as proven in court against Samsung not too long ago. And I think, given my background in electronics industry, I could see the value in terms of applying this to display, and images are the first two things we can apply. There are many more applications for quantum dots, and they have world-beating technology in this area. It needs marketing and reaching out to customers and productionizing with the customer sort of applications. So I think, when you feel you can add value in terms of bringing market, network, connection, marketing to a technology asset, essentially, is very appealing to try and roll up your sleeve and help.
And Nanoco, I guess a little bit like Dialog beforehand, it's been a roller coaster ride for shareholders so far. What are the key steps that you feel that you need to take to make sure that the business gets the strategy and I guess the risk reward right from here on?
I think, the thing to, point out is, I think in October we published our new strategy. So I only joined in April. Another director who was new to the company, Dieter May, he joined in January, a couple of months before me. And we've been working with the rest of the board and the management team to see what we need to do to change. It does need change of direction, change of strategy, and that's what we've been working on. And in October we published our new strategy, which is trying to maximize the value of the IP, which is underrated by the market. At the same time, we get the market's impatience and response to the company. So we appointed CDX as an advisor to look at strategic option for finding a good solution for the trading part of the business. And very recently we've appointed Dimitri as the new CEO. He comes with amazing transformation of material science type company background from the US, and is already implementing change and reaching out to new customers. So our focus is to manage the cash in a good way, meaning that to preserve cash as long as possible, to apply to the right opportunities. But as we go through a process of sale, when we get some certainty of that process, we can be returning further cash to the shareholders. And just not to forget that already this year the company has returned 33 million pounds of cash to the shareholders. So it's a real opportunity to pay that cash back to shareholders again.
Yeah, and now turning towards the process with CDA.
Yes.
Can you help, I guess, investors understand that process? In terms of timescales, but also, what are the key factors that you need to ensure to make sure that process is run as successful as it can be?
So we have a process like this. It starts with a week or so of an investment bank like CDX camping at the company with the executive team. They've spent time individually with the board members, looking at the past sort of customer base. So they have to build up a case for IP, for the commercial value of the business and connections that the business already has, to be able to present in the best light to a strategic buyer or potentially a strategic a growth company that wants to fund something like that out of the public market as a trading unit. So there are multiple options, and they report to board regularly, and we get once they prepare their material for sending out to investors or to buyers, we get to see that, to review that, and input to that. So it's an ongoing interactive process, and I think it's going really well, and we will inform the market as we get meaningful information to announce.
You recently commissioned an independent valuation report on the company's subsidiaries and the IP, and I think that's I guess corroborated your valuation of 46 million pounds for the IP. Can you explain what, I guess, that process, but also actually what investors can really take from that valuation?
I think what they should take from that there is significant value in the IP of the company. Now, this was an accounting exercise as opposed to a market process background. So the accounting exercise by an independent company put that valuation of 46 million in support of what's on the balance sheet. So that to bring that to real life, we have to leverage that IP assets, and there are a range of options when you engage the market. There could be slightly less or slightly more, but that value needs to be realized through, for example, licensing IP to further customers, things like that, which is not really captured in the current market valuation of the company, because I think we're pretty much close to cash level valuation right now.
So, I mean, you're seeing a lot of investment going into the fabs. How much of a benefit will that be for the companies who are putting that money into the fabs? Because obviously that's been your traditional starting point for companies who want to bring up their expertise in the area.
I mean, fabs are really ongoing sort of monsters of cash eating stuff. So you really need high volume, a big market that feeds that. And for example, we don't have one in the UK in terms of end user market. It's not that big to require massive digital fabs. We have some niche fabs, which are for compound semiconductor, more niche things, photonics, that sort of thing. That's fine. And I think we have some differentiation there to keep from a manufacturing point of view. But we need to have friendly sort of nations that we work with for accessing the bleeding edge CMOS fabs. In terms of I mean, you have to be either in the fab business or not. So I think people who try to build fabs but their main business is something else, I don't think they're gonna succeed competing with TSMCs of this world. But there's some good collaborative things going on now. So like in Europe, there's a fab being built by TSMC, Bosch, and NXP. But they all share the output, and is mostly for automotive type technology. So that makes a lot of sense, that you build a new capacity. Similarly in Japan, they build one with Sony and others, and I think they're building a second and third one.
Yeah.
But it's all combination with massive customers who would then use the outcome, not just building a so I think this is a smart way of doing it.
And what would you say the UK's core areas of expertise are in terms of
Design and IP is clearly by far very, very strong, and everybody mentions ARM, of course, but there's like so many other companies at a smaller scale that do not just digital stuff like ARM and Imagination, but also mixed signal design is very good. RF design is good in the UK. Now we're seeing quantum coming. That's a bit early, but again, UK can be very, very advanced in that. And photonics is something that is taking off as well.
So scale-up capital is the one.
Oh, absolutely. Just a single piece of, from a finance point of view, scale-up capital. I think we got enough seed and early stage investors. What we don't have is in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we have banks that can then take it forward. Once you have orders and stuff, people lend you or help you. But it's just in the middle, you got a chasm of lack of finance to get you there.
Jalal, many thanks for joining me today.
You're very welcome. Thank you.